Greetings. In this step-by-step guide to installing plugins on OBS, I'm going to show you how to do it on Windows and Linux. Unfortunately, I cannot show you how to do it on Mac because I don't work on Mac, and I'm now going to go onto the internet to a site that has got plugins. I'm going to show you how to do it on maybe 2 plugins on both Windows and on Linux, and I think that should be enough for you to be able to do it in the future. Exaldra OBS, and there I've clicked download. Here we can see resources by Exaldra, and here you can see all the plugins that are available from Exaldra, who is a programmer from the Netherlands, and he has done a number of plugins for OBS, the quality of which is excellent. You can see the star rating that they've got, the number of people who have downloaded, and the date. He is ongoing with these plugins, and he upgrades a lot of them on a continual basis. So having said that, I'm going to pull down one called Source Doc, which is an extremely handy plugin. To do so, I've clicked on here. You can get an idea of what the plugin does by going through this page over here. You can see that it works on Windows, OS, and on Linux. To download them, you would go there. Windows installers need to install via the Windows installer, so I'm going to download that one and save it. And if you are on Linux, you would need to install it from this one here. I'm going to save it. Having done that, we will go out of this and onto Windows on a virtual machine, Windows 10 on a virtual drive. Brought in the necessary files into Windows 10. So if I go onto here, you'll see that I've got record, rename, and source doc. There they both are there. In order to install them, double click on them. Here it is here. Double click, record, rename, setup. Do you want to allow it? Yes. Install and finish. That's the program installed. If I now go back to downloads, I can install this one here. Double click and click again. Do you want to install it? Yes. Accept, yes. Install, yes. And there it is, accepted and finished. So now this program is installed on your OBS. Remember that you must go out of OBS and restart it again in order for these plugins to work on your computer. I am now going to go back onto OBS on my machine. Here you can see that I'm on the internet over here. I'm going to go out of this and I'm going to go into my files. Under downloads, I have already downloaded source doc, Linux, there it is there, and rename, record, rename, there it is over there. In order to install the source doc, you double click, it'll bring it up there. I've brought it up and it's shown that it's a .deb file. Double click on it. Yeah, it has told me that I have already got this file installed. So I could say reinstall the package, but I'm not going to because it is already installed. In your case, it would just ask if you want to install and accept it, and it'll bring it into your OBS program on your computer. So now we've seen that one. I'm going to close that down. Record, rename. Yeah, it is saying that record, rename is a tar.gz file. Double click on it. It will then now bring it up in this form over here. We can close this one down. We can go on to Home, Config, and look for OBS Studio. Here you should have a folder called Plugins. If you don't have it, right-click, create the new folder. Once you've done that, name it Plugins, exactly the same as it is there. I'm not going to do it because I've already got it. If I open this, here you can see the files that I've already got in. Here now with the record rename, We can just bring it up and put it right in here as it is there. But here you can see it's already in, and it's saying there, cancel, replace all, nothing, skip, replace. So I'm going to say cancel. But in your case, you will have brought it in, and the program will now be active on your OBS under Linux. Remember that you must, of course, go out of OBS and restart it again for any plugins that you have just brought in to become active. Here you can see that I am on my OBS screen and I've got display capture on. That's why you can see this over here. If I now go on to tools, you will see here, you can see source doc, there it is there, and you can see record, rename, there it is there. If you do not see these two under tools in your OBS, then you need to go back and reinstall whichever one is not there, or both of them if they're both not installed. I'm going to now click on source doc. There, I've clicked on it there, and I'm going to open this up so that we don't have so much interference from the side. Here I've brought this one bigger so that we can see a little bit better what is going on. Under sources over here, you can see Dixon and color background, which I've got deactivated, and Dell screen. Now, with source doc, the nice thing about it is, like this one here, source background, I've got deactivated, but I can bring it in as a doc over here. Here you can see the docs that I've got and those that I've got activated under docs. Those are the ones with the tick there. If you look over here, you'll see my Dixon, which is this one over here, is showing. And under media controls, you'll see I've got media controls, and I've also got active advanced scene switcher. The nice thing about these is it makes it very easy to actually work on these while you're actually recording. As you can see over here, I can have a look at the filters that I've got on this here. I've got noise suppression, gain, limiter, and I've got nothing else. So that makes it so much easier and handier, and I can see exactly what is going on here, whether I'm recording, when I'm recording in red, but when I'm not recording or it's paused, that'll be in yellow. If I go here under my source doc setup, I can click there, and as I said, I've got a color background here. So I could go into here and I could say color background, and there it's highlighted it there. So I can click on that. I'm not going to worry about title there, but I could say whatever just to make it more descriptive, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to say that I want it visible. I want to preview it, and I want to see if I've got filters. I can say add. Now you'll see that a color background has come up here, and it is in a small screen, so I can expand the screen like this here. I can expand that, and I can expand it down here and a little bit up here. So there I've got color background over here. I can separate it from there, and if I click on filters, it'll show me whatever filters I've got set up, but I don't have any filters over there, so I can say close. And if I now click that one there, it'll take that filter away. So now all I'm seeing is the color background, so I could see the colors of it. If I click on properties, now I can see what properties I've got, and that'll bring up the setup screen for the color background. So I could change the color, I could change the width, the height, etc. I can click that. Okay. If I now go onto here and I go under visible, I can click that, and there it has taken it away. Under docs, color background, you'll see is no longer ticked. If I click on this one here and I go back to docs, if I go back under docs, you'll see now color background is clicked. So this is a extremely handy plugin, and it works extremely well. If I've got any screen that is using draw in it, in other words, if I put in draw in here, there is draw there. So if I add that to this scene for you, here I've put in draw, and I can say global draw source, or I can just leave it as draw and say, okay, there's what I want. I'm happy with it. Put it in draw. Here I want to make draw a doc as well. So I've typed it in. There it is there. And I can say add. There it is, added it there. I can say make it visible or not visible. There you can see visible. If I bring draw down, I can open it up here, and I can open it up slightly further. There now I'm showing the draw doc. There won't be a volume meter with it. There won't be audio with it. Media controls, I'm not using any. Switch scene, show active properties. I can click on that there, and then I can go into properties, and that will bring up this screen here, which is the screen that would come up if I activated it in a source like that. So here you can see this. You can go down and you can change those settings over there. So I can close that, but as you can see, it does show the properties. If I've got filters, which I won't have, you could see filters if there are any. So that there is not going to happen. And text and scene items. So there you have now seen how to use this. I can make it visible when I actually go onto the scene. So I can do that. There it takes it away. There it brings it back. So I'm going to take that away for the moment because I'm not using it. Here I'm on my virtual computer on Linux running OBS. If you look at tools, you'll see output timer, scripts going all the way through, but here you can see source doc and record rename. These are the two plugins that we've just gone through installing. I'm going to now click on record rename. Under this one here you can see record, replay buffer, ask user confirmation, file name format. That brings this up here, and that's what it's going to look like when the program actually is stopped. If we go back on, we get record rename. We've got automatically remux to MP4. Now, remuxing to MP4, you can only do if you are on some other format. In other words, if I go into settings and I go to output, recording, here you will see that my recording format is Matroska video.mkv. That's the format that I'm using to record. So in this case here, I could use that reformat to MP4. If you are looking at the replay buffer, here's the replay buffer here. You'll see I have enabled replay buffer here, so that there is enabled. Going back out of this and going back into record rename, if you click on record, it will, when you complete the recording that you're doing, it'll bring up a screen, and I'll show you that, to allow you to change or to modify the name of the video that you're doing, which is very handy. If we look here, if I said automatically remux to MP4, it would allow me to do that. So if I now click on this one here you can see I've got them all activated. I've got record activate, replay buffer activate, and automatically remux to MP4. Now the record tick is on, which means that when I stop recording, it'll bring up it'll bring up a box that I can actually put in the new name. If we are on replay buffer, and you saw that I had the replay buffer activated under settings, then the replay buffer will work as well. And I've got it on remux to MP4. So if I go to stop recording, here you'll see it's got the rename file over here. And in the rename file, you can see you've got a date and a time format. I can now type in here test, and it'll rename the file to test, and it'll make it into a MP4 format. Now, having seen the installation of the plugins in both Windows and Linux, both the setting up and the actual using of these two plugins which I've shown you, you can now see how very easy it is to do. Having said that, I would be grateful if you would give me a like and a subscribe to the channel. It'll cost you nothing and a second of your time, but it helps the algorithm so that more people can benefit from these videos that I do. The reason why I go so into depth in them is because there's a lot of times that people skip over a lot of important information, making it difficult for the person watching the video to actually implement it, and in that way learn, is however to actually do. So having said that, I would like to thank you for coming to the end of this video, and I will be grateful if you would, as I say, support me with subscribe and ringing the bell, and hopefully I will see you soon.